Hi everyone. Well, yesterday we took George out for a ride. We just tightened up the sump, cleared out the breather pipes. So far so good. Ain't been far. Just went to work in him yesterday afternoon, and also we went out and got some petrol for that generator. Sitting in the garden now, it's a lovely day, and I just thought maybe I should have a look and just see if I can get that thing going. What do you say, Gemini? Not a lot. She's just playing with her toy. So I think I'll bring it outside. It's a lovely day and we'll have a look at it. Well, here we go. Here it is. Let's have a look. AC output. Oh, so 950, whatever that means. So the AC output is 50 Hertz, which is generally what we use in the UK. Mixed gasoline, which obviously means it's a 2-stroke, so it's got to be mixed with oil. It says 220 to 240 volt. I was hoping it had a 12 volt on it, but there's no mention of a 12 volt on it. But never mind. Like I said, I'll have to use my battery charger if I want to stick it straight onto the battery. So as you can see, it's quite dusty, but according to him it's never been run, and by the looks of it I've got no reason to say that it has. Obviously this is the pull cord. I don't know anything about these generators. It's Marksman Tools generator, which they probably made a few of these for different companies and just put different names on them. Right, so let's have a look at this side. Well, there's the on off switch. This is obviously a choke for starting. There's the AC out, which is 3-pin plug. Which is strange because a lot of generators you see now have the waterproof plug like you have for the camper, but I have got a conversion plug which I can use for that. Not much to see on this side. Hang on a second. Before we go round there, let's just have a look at this. Right, read owner's manual, which is here. We'll have a look at it in a minute, but I think most of the pages are had it. Only using a ventilated area, blah de blah de blah, just about carbon monoxide and stuff. Stop engine before refueling. Do not, it's just general things. Oh, can't use it in the rain. I'd have thought you would have been able to. Maybe because of this plug socket. I'd have thought if it had the waterproof socket on it, it'd have been alright, but done using snow or water. This unit dry at all times. What are you doing, Waffle Dog? Don't pull up the grass. Right, AC protect the reset. It's a little button here. Don't know what that does. Obviously something to do with resetting it. Maybe it'll trip out if it's overloaded. What's on this side? I mean, people probably saying, what's he doing that for? They're easy to suss out. But I've never ever had one, never used one, so I don't know anything about them. There's another little socket here. What does it say? Can't really read it. Can't read what it says. Let's have a closer look. Oh, it just says DC 8 amp. No. Be handy if that was a 12 volt. Probably in. It's probably just DC power. But we'll check that at the voltage if we get it going. As you can see, yeah, just so clean into to have a bin run. There's a spark plug, so there's nothing else on it to really know about. Just need to know what the mixture is, which is on here. Oop, another piece of paper falling off. Right, 50 to 1. Thing about these, obviously that's a 2-stroke, or a 2-smoke as we used to call the mopeds. They'll be more smokier than just a 4-stroke one, like a Honda one or something. So you do need to keep it well away from you, because it's going to be a bit smelly. Need to get the mix quite right. I mean, 50 to 1 shouldn't be very smoky at all. Obviously the more oil you put in it, the more smoky it'll be, but the more it protects the engine. So if you put too little in, the engine will probably seize up quite soon. So we'll try and get that close to 50 to 1, because that's what it says. We'll see how that burns. You can see the little carburetor through here, look. Got a few little screws and adjustments on it. Hopefully we don't have to do anything. Looks like on the bottom, it's like a float chamber. A screw there must be another jet. I don't want to touch anything. So there must be an air filter under here. It's got to be in there. So not much to know about it. Apart from, a quick look in the tank. It's all like brand new inside. There's a little float there. I guess that comes up and blocks off that vent in the lid to stop spillage if you're moving it around. Let's have a look inside the tank. Little filter, some debris in there, I just blew it out. Oh, look in there, look. It's brand spanking new. That has never ever been used. So that's all good. Right, so as you know, we bought some petrol yesterday. I need to find out the 2-stroke oil, and we'll mix some up and we'll give it a try. Right, I've got this 2-stroke oil. I used to use this in a strimmer for work. You can get some really clean burning oil now, what they have in some 2-strokes, but it's a bit, well, that should be fine. It's 2-stroke oil. Got the mix ratios on the back. 50 to 1 is 20 millimeters per litre. So that should be easy enough. So you want 20 millilitres of this oil in a litre of fuel. Millilitres. I got enough in here? Yes. I got 200 and probably 70 by the looks of that. I'll find something to measure out a bit more accurate, and we'll tip that in with the 3 litres of fuel we've got. Just have a quick look in this manual, see if we can see anything. Just the general safety stuff. Blah de blah de blah. I don't think I'm going to be able to read most of it because it's either faded or stuck. I'm going to have a quick look through there and see if there's anything interesting I need to know about before I go any further. Saying here that should be earthed. I guess they mean like grounded. Put a piece of metal into the ground on a cable. It's not always going to be easy, is it? So I'm going to have to find something to whack into the ground to earth it. Or do they mean the plug should be earthed? But then again, that'd go back to this, wouldn't it? Oh, I don't know. I'll have to sort that out. This bit is handy. It's saying that the cap inside this float thing here is a measurer. So each mark on it is a litre, so it'll be enough for 1 litre, 2 litre, 3 litre, 4 litre. So obviously we got 3 litres of fuel. So if I put that up to that third line, should be the amount we need to mix with this petrol. So that'll make things easier. So that's something I've learnt. Cool. Sort that out in a minute. What are you up to, Waffle Dog? You getting stones again, are you? Leave him. God, he's always up to something, isn't he? Or she is always up to something, isn't she? I've had a look through that. There is some interesting stuff of what I can see, and there's stuff I can't see. It goes on about AC all the time. It doesn't really mention DC, so I got a feeling it's probably going to be 110 or something, not 12 volt. Right, so it says choker's on there, choker's off there, so that's good. Obviously that's the on and off. There is a little, on the bottom of that carburetor, there is a little filter which can come off to be cleaned if it gets bunged up. But I think apart from that, we're set to go. So I'm going to measure out some oil now and stick it in the petrol. Probably not going to put all the petrol in, just a little bit to fire it up, because I don't want to be carrying around petrol in this tank when I don't need to, and I don't even know when I'm going to need it. So yeah, we'll get it fired up in shortly, I think, if it will fire up. Right, let's mix that petrol up. So here's the 3 litres of fuel. Not sure if you can see or not, but we'll soon find out. Make sure that's nice and clean. We need to put that up to the third mark on there, don't we? That's 1 litre, 2 litre, 3 litres of fuel. Hang on, let's make sure it's dead on the line. Level as we can. 1, 2, 3. Call that 3? Yeah, I would. Now we'll tip that into there. There it goes. There's me 3 litres of fuel with the oil in. Just let that drip. Make sure it's all in. Cool. That can go back in that filter. I'll put the lid on this. We'll give that a little bit of a mix up. Like I say, I'm just going to put a little bit of this into the tank and then keep the rest in the can for when I use it. Right, let's find a little spout or something for this to put the fuel in here. I'll leave that in there for a minute because there's still a little bit in there dripping. Right, see what I can find. I don't know where the spout is for this. I've got a funnel, so we'll just put a bit in. Like I say, I'm not going to put a lot in. I'll just stick a little bit in, just enough, hopefully, to check whether it works. And if it don't, there won't be so much to come out if I need to take the carburetor off. I'm hoping I don't have to. That'll be a bummer, won't it? Right, let's do it. Right, got a little bit of fuel in there. Can't really see much, but there's a little bit. Probably about a litre, I should think. Put this stuff away and then we'll turn the petrol on and see how we go. Just put this stuff away. Right, let's turn the petrol on first. Right, according to that, that's off, that's on. There's a little bolt on the bottom of there, which I think there'll be a little filter in there as well. Like I say, it's hard to make out on that little booklet. Just checking that there's nothing leaking there. There isn't really enough, that much fuel in there, is there? But I'll give it a couple of seconds to go down. Hang on, is that wet there? Nope, my eyes. Give that a couple of seconds to go down, and then we'll see if that'll fire up. Let's clear this gear away. Right, according to the guy, it hasn't been started. Whether it have or not, I'm not sure. Definitely hasn't been started in a few years, that's for sure. So, switch is on. It's a really hot day, but I guess I need to put that choke on to start it. Where shall I put the camera? Hopefully you can see over here. I'll give it a couple of pulls and we'll see what happens. Put it over slowly first. See if it started. Might get some pepper right. Right, that's on, let's go. Well, nothing's happened. Turn that choke off. It's not even fired, is it? Not sure whether the fuel is enough in there to get through. I've only put probably a litre in. Should be enough to fill that little carburetor up. Let's put that in the middle. Well, it hasn't even fired. Makes me wonder, doesn't it? Makes me wonder. Is there a reason why it's never been run? Because it don't run. That's off. That's on. All the things I should be doing. Pull it a few more times. If it don't fire, I'll take the plug out and see if there's any fuel on the plug, and then we can check a spark. Obviously I didn't bother with any of that beforehand because, like I say, it's never been used. So let's give it a couple more pulls. Obviously it's running now. And there is a bit of smoke because obviously it's a 2-stroke, and it is smelly old thing. But like I say, it's running. I don't know why that was revving up and down just now. It might have been just because there's hardly any fuel in it. You definitely wouldn't want that too close to your tent, would you? Or your caravan. Hopefully get a nice long lead, get it right out of the way. Right, switch off. How noisy? Yeah, a little bit noisy, but nothing to worry about, is it? And that could be really handy. Right, I'm going to give it another pull now. I've turned it off, just check it restarts okay. Switch back on. Well, as you can see, starts really easy now, and like I've said before, with it being a 2-stroke, it's a bit smelly, but what do you expect? Well, I'm pleased that it works. I think the next thing to do is plug something in it and check there's power. What can I plug in? Let's see what I can find. Well, I was looking for something to try in the shed. I've got a grinder, so we'll try that. Let's plug it in. That's it. It's not raining today, so we should be fine. I know it did say it's got to be earthed. I just got nothing to earth it in my garden. I've got fake grass, so I can't even bang a pole in the ground. So I'm keeping my gloves on anyway, but I think we'll be fine. I think they're just covering their arse, to be honest, in case you got a shock off it. Right, we'll fire it up again, and I'll test the grinder. Where I put the camera again. See if I can put it on this little pole. How's that? Hope you can see it. Right, switch it on. It's away. Like I say, I know nothing about these machines. It obviously speeds up when you put some power out, take some power out of it. So, I could obviously use a grinder. And obviously, it's working. Not much more I can do. The only thing will be interesting, is whether it's got enough oomph in that to run a heater or run a kettle. Now, I think this one here is literally just DC, but I think I'll get a multimeter and just see what I was pumping out of there. Like I say, if that was 12 volt, I'd have thought that had said. That little old thing's smoking away. Runs okay though, doesn't it? I was a bit worried at first starting it on here that would rattle itself to pieces and fly off. But I'm going to say that's a success. Could come in handy, like I say, for charging up the battery on the van, or if that will boil a kettle. We'll find all that out when we go camping, I think, whether that boils a kettle. I think I'll just get a multimeter and just see what I was pumping out the other side. What do you reckon? 12 volt, 110 DC? Who knows? Let me get a meter and we'll find out. Well, I've rammed my little meter in there, and according to that, it's kicking out, well, you can see, between 20 and 22 volts. So that would charge a battery, wouldn't it? I'll stick this plug back in. Just see what happens if I run this at the same time. Nothing, it don't work. I'm guessing when it's got a load on here, no, it's not working. Maybe I need to reset this for the AC. Oh, they're working now. Maybe the plug's not right in. Well, that's what was going on there. I didn't have the plug right in. Just reconnect this multimeter. There, we're back up. That's all over the place now. Let's do 19, 15. Let's just see what happens. Well, the binder skills worked. Got a feeling that they're not in properly. Let's try it again. Right, back up to 18, 19. Well, they're both kicking out the same. That's kicking out around about 20 volts DC, and this one's obviously enough power on the AC to work this grinder. So I think we got a chance of charging our battery, and also I could use it for the camper van. Like I say, might even boil a kettle. We'll have to see about that one. I'm going to test all that when we get out camping. Let's switch it off. And as you can see now, it's starting easier and stops okay. We definitely need to test this out when we're out in the van. I think what I'm going to actually do is turn the fuel off, fire it up, and just let that run until it uses up the fuel in the carburetor. That'll keep the carburetor nice and clean. I hope. Let's fire it up again. Better off if I'd switch it on. Thought I'd done something wrong there with turning the fuel off, but there's obviously I had this switch off. Switches, eh? So I've got the fuel off now. Just going to let that carburetor run out. But that's cool. That was well worth it. It's going to come in handy, that little thing. Great. So, I think it's time to end this video here. There's nothing else to do on it. We checked the voltages. We know it'll run a power tool. Whether that'll boil a kettle or a small heater, we'll find that out when we go camping when it's not hot. Looks like it pumps out about 20ish volts, so that'd charge a battery, wouldn't it? DC. So that's good. So we'll leave it here. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one. Bye for now.